Hey everyone, sorry I'm a little late. I'm a little bit slower post surgery, so and I don't look my best, but I did not want to cancel today. My throat's a little messed up from the breathing tube that I had, but I didn't want to skip today's live because, and tell me if you can't hear me, I'll talk a little louder. We didn't have one last week, and I didn't really want to lose momentum, so this live's going to be with Britney. So as soon as I see her come on here, I'll be able to add her. I did shoot a message to her that I was running a little late and that I was coming on now. So, Britney, once you're on here, just pop on and say that you're here so that I can tap your name and bring you to the screen. Let's see. Hi, Robin. Hi, Lynn. I'm waiting for Britney to pop on here. So I am post-op day 1, really. Not feeling that great, but I really didn't want to miss the opportunity to do this with Britney since we had hers planned. So she's not on here. So if anyone could just shoot Britney a message. Hi, how are you feeling? I'm okay. I've been better. It's a little difficult for me to get around, but my husband's helping me out, so that's good. It's just really sore. Oh, there you are. Hey, Brittany. I'm just really sore, and I slept a lot yesterday and today, but I'm okay. Just one day at a time. Okay, let me see if I can add Brittany. All right, I'm sending you the invite. So I'm trying to add Brittany in, and once she comes in, she'll pop up on the side.
Hey. Oh,
how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
How's your
Sounds different, but that's okay.
I saw your video last week.
What'd you say?
I saw your video last week about people not letting you speak up for your child.
Oh yeah, it got me all fired up.
Oh man, that's sad.
Sad and crazy, really.
Yeah.
But this is exactly why I left, because it let everybody hear itself. So, I think why don't you introduce yourself, tell where you're from, and I know where your story began.
Yeah. Okay. I'm Brittany, and I have a daughter with Beckwith Movement syndrome. Her name's Mariah. Oh, and I'm from California. Sorry. She is 3.5 years old. We actually didn't find out that she had Beckwith Movement syndrome until she was actually born. I know that some people were able to find out while they were pregnant, but for me, we didn't know until after. I ended up having to have an emergency C-section because I had like high blood pressure and some just health, not good pregnancy stuff. And she was born at 9 pounds, 13 ounces. She weighed, so 9 pounds, 13 ounces. She was 21 inches long. And she literally had to go straight from where my surgery is to the NICU. And I didn't get to see her. I saw her for maybe like a second. They showed me her, and then they took her. And I was still I didn't know what was wrong, like I didn't know, like I still didn't know what was going on with her. And then they ended up pushing my bed into the NICU room so I could see her a little more. So I got to touch her through the incubator thing, put my hand and touch her there for a bit, but then they took me back to my room. And then that night, they wanted to do a MRI, I believe. Yeah, an MRI on her to see what was going on. And then they saw that she had a tumor on her kidney. And then also, I forget, I want to say they saw that she had a hole in her heart, where blood was flowing. Thing. So they saw that, and then that next day, I guess a geneticist came in and diagnosed her with Beckwith-Wiedemann syndrome. And then the doctors told me and my husband that day about it, and we honestly never heard of it, so we had no idea what to expect or what do we had to do, what's going on. So they kind of told us stuff about it, and then I had my family there too, so they were looking things up, and we were all talking about it. And she wasn't breathing on her own, so she had to have that. I don't even know what it's called. I don't know these medical terms, but they were had that tube down her throat. Yeah. She had that for a few days, 3 or 4 days, until she was able to get the nasal one. And then she wasn't eating on her own, she wouldn't suck from a bottle or anything. So they had the tube to go up her nose to feed her, and I was pumping, so they would give her my milk. But yeah, she was in the NICU for about 47 days. It took her a long time to be able to breathe on her own. They did talk to us about doing the, what's it called when they get the trach? But me and my husband were really trying to see if she would breathe on her own, because we didn't want to put her through that. Because then they also talked to us about giving her a G-tube because she wasn't eating. And I was really nervous about that. And she got that done about a month after she was born. So she was in the NICU still. So she got that done. I think she was 1 month old. And then after she got that done, they taught us how to do it, take care of it and feed her through that. And then we just went from the G2 thing, and then a couple weeks later, she just went from being able to breathe on her own. So we were oh wow, she's doing better. She's able to breathe on her own. So then they gave us a day. They're okay, well, she can go home with you guys. And we were so excited. But then I was still so nervous because I had the G-tube thing still, which, I was 23 years old. I was young. I was I don't know. My first kid, I don't know how to do this. And I don't know. We were able to get her home, and it was the day before Thanksgiving. So that was the best thing, because we were able to have her home for Thanksgiving, So for us, that was great. And then the G-tube, it really bothered me. It wasn't it wasn't something I was comfortable with. So I didn't really like using it. I was I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to hurt her. It just made me really uncomfortable. I never wanted to put her down on her tummy, because I always felt oh, it's going to bother her. So I didn't, my mom really helped me a lot. She helped me try to feed her with a bottle. Because once I brought her home, I really worked on the bottle with her, because I wanted her to use that more than the G-tube. And I literally probably only used the G-tube the first 1 to 3 days that she was home, but not a lot. I used it maybe one time, and then because we really just tried to work on the bottle. I was I don't care if it takes her an hour to finish this bottle. At least she finishes it, So we really worked on the bottle a lot. And so then, because she worked on it, she started getting better at it, and we never had to use the G-tube at all, which was great. So we ended up getting the G-tube removed when she was 4 months old. Yeah, so she got that removed, and that was a relief for me, because it was just something that was really hard for me to see her have to have. And now the scar looks just like a belly button. But now she's just been kind of just doing the same routine of going through getting the ultrasounds and blood work. We did have a few ultrasounds where the kidney was a little more enlarged than the last one, and then the liver was enlarged too. So we saw a few of those, but other than that, all of the ultrasounds and blood work have been okay. And she's been doing really great. The thing with her, she does have a larger tongue which we did. Me and my husband, we decided not to do the surgery because she was breathing on her own and she was being able to um, eat fine. She did have to have therapy for it though, so we did take her to occupational therapy, which about twice a week, I believe, or once a week. And they really worked with her on that, and that seemed to really help her. And ever since the therapy, we never really had to worry about her having issues with gagging or anything like that. And then we also had her in speech therapy because we just didn't want her to have issues with her speech because of her large tongue. And I felt like that really helped her a lot too. She does talk a lot. There's some things, that I feel like she has a hard time saying and understanding, but she does really good for, I think, her age for being 3. But yeah,
How old is she?
3.5. So, yeah, how old's your little boy?
He's 15 months.
15 months. 15 months, okay. Yeah,
So he still doesn't say a whole lot, but he's trying saying you, Dad.
Yeah.
But he's a speech therapist. It does help.
Yeah, it really helped her. Like, so when they first started with her, she was only like a year and a half. I think, yeah, I believe a year and a half years old when she first started, and she wasn't saying anything. And they taught her some sign language, so she would do like more, thank you, or in like please, all done, stuff like that, sign language of that. And then she started to say more words as time would go on. But she did it for about a year. She did speech therapy for about a year. And almost.
She has blood work and everything routinely like she's supposed to.
Yeah, she does. It has been it's been off a little bit because I've had some issues with her doctor scheduling things right. But I mean, it's usually around every 3 months. But the last few ones, it's probably been around 4 months just because of scheduling. But she gets to that in 3 months. But
how did she do now?
I'm sorry, say that again?
How does she do now that she's a little older with sitting okay?
With blood work, she, every time we walk into the station area, she, starts crying because she knows, oh, I'm going to get poked. But other than that, she likes at the end that she gets a sticker, so she kind of is okay. But I've never had any issues with her with the ultrasound. She's always been really good. She lays there and does really good. All the technicians always tell me, they're like, wow, she's really good, and I was like, yeah, I don't know why she doesn't mind that, but it's the blood work that she doesn't like.
That's good.
But yeah.
Do you have any other kids or just her?
We just had a little girl this past October. So I have a 6-month-old right now too, yeah. But she's so Selena doesn't have any she wasn't born with Beckley syndrome, so it's been they're completely different of how just things are. It was really hard for me to want to have another kid because I was so nervous about maybe having something like this with my second one. But then once I got to experience my second one, her name's Selena. Once I got to experience that type of birth and just kind of normal thing where I get to have her in the room with me. She got to get my chest right after, and it was just amazing. I was so nervous in the beginning, my whole pregnancy. I just felt so nervous about having her. But then once I had her, I was like, oh, this is the best thing, in the world. I can't believe I get to experience this, and then I got to take her home right away. She went home with me. So. But it's been really good. Mariah loves her. She's such a good big sister. She's very smart. And Mariah, she's just a fighter. I feel like she always gets through it. There's nothing that really stops her from doing anything. She's good at playing at the playground. like her leg lengthening is not like hindering her from doing activities.
Yeah.
She
She like just works with what she has.
what she has.
Yeah, and she just does it. Like, she doesn't let it stop her. And then she has, like, one foot bigger than the other. So that's a little hard, like, having to find two different size shoes. And then they want me to put, like, a shoe lift in it, which is hard because I can't. It's so hard to fit a shoe lift in her shoe and put her foot in at the same time. So I have issues with shoes. Like, shoes is something that's really hard for me to find for her. So she wears sandals.
We're struggling too, because I was like,
Yeah. I heard. I
so,
yeah. But yeah, she's doing really good, and I am definitely learning still as I'm going with Beckwith-Lehman syndrome because I don't know a whole lot. And I do have a good doctor. She has had a patient with Beckwith-Lehman syndrome, so she kind of does know. But I still feel like it's still kind of new where we don't know everything about it.
No. That's why I'm hoping, like, doing things that help people watch, like your story, maybe something that you said might have been something that they dealt with, and that they connect with you, or, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the thing is, it's every child's different. Like, when Mariah, the only stuff that she had, for Beckwith-Lehman, well, she had a lot of it. She had, like, the low blood sugars. She had a hernia. She had like a few things. The right side is just larger. Her, like, cheek and leg and body's larger on the right side. But she didn't have, I don't know what it's called, but where her organs are on the outside, she didn't have that. But yeah, she ended up getting the blood work done, and it did confirm that she did have Beckwith-Lehman syndrome, to confirm it. But yeah. Honestly, for me, though, I think what helped the most was the therapy that she did to get her to where she's at right now, because therapy really helped. She did occupational therapy, she did speech therapy, she did physical therapy, she did all those. And I think it really helped her. And just being consistent with it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, a lot of people from other states that I talk to, they're like, oh yeah, my husband diagnosed, but they don't have the high risk signs, so they're not screen them. I'm like, they still need to screen them.
Yeah, they would still need to be screened, I would think, for sure, because I don't know exactly what level Mariah's at. I don't really know, but she hasn't had any tumor, because the tumor that they found when she was born, they at like her third ultrasound, it was gone. They didn't see it, and ever since that one, we haven't had any other on her yet. And I believe right now, since she's still 3, she'll be 4 in October. So till they're 4, they do the full abdominal ultrasound, and then they do the blood work, and then after 4, they don't do blood work anymore, correct?
Correct, yeah.
And then,
So continue with the
yeah, and I believe it'll just be the renal ultrasound, not the full abdominal, I believe. That's what he said.
That's 100% sure on. It's very interesting because I've heard a lot from a lot of people, even especially in other countries, like, oh,
The lower risk
get scanned,
or
they don't.
some people don't
Some
make
people don't make the test before.
So
So it's different everywhere.
So I'll have to
find some of that stuff out.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna talk to her doctor about it, because even my husband and I were like talking about, like, man, shouldn't they just continue the full abdominal? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that they probably did. We wanted to, we see Dr. Kalish in Philadelphia. She's like one of the top doctors for this. If your doctor recommends something else and you're more comfortable with them, the full abdominal ultrasound, you could probably write things to your doctor.
Yeah, I know. I've never talked to that doctor you said, Kalish. I've never talked to her,
Yeah.
emailed her before, but I do see her name a lot on the Beckwith Wiedemann group that I'm in.
Yeah.
But I honestly, we have Kaiser here in California, and I've never really gone out of that with her, so I don't know any other people's like views on it, on what other people do.
Well, if it's just something that you want to push for like all of the ultrasound, there's definitely something with pushing, or at least what the reasoning is for not doing full abdominal ultrasound.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can try that.
Yeah, and then another thing that I was wondering is like for the tongue reduction, since we didn't do it, her tongue is a bit larger still, and it's not really causing an issue. It's more, I guess, for looks, because she does stick it out every once in a while, where I don't know, like I don't want kids like making fun of her because she's sticking out her tongue, because I have had an incident where a kid noticed it and said like about her long tongue, and I was just like, like I don't want it to be an issue when she starts school or something, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to get her tongue reduction just because I'm worried about people saying something, because surgery is a big deal. It's not like, oh, let's just get her tongue reduced,
Yeah.
It makes me nervous.
Does it look like it's or for jaw?
So I've taken her to the dentist, and they haven't said anything about it with her jaw or anything, but they did tell me that it could possibly affect it to where in the future, like when she gets older, she might have to have jaw surgery. But that's like they're not saying that we will. It's like a maybe, so I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe it might benefit from taking her to get surgeon just to see what they say. My son was fixed super early at 7, so obstructing the airway.
Oh, okay.
But it's grown and it is affecting his teeth growing in. They're growing kind of forward. So they said they were going to look at it at like 2 or 3 he was doing over another one.
Yeah.
They want to kind of avoid jaw surgery.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. I know when she was first born, like when she was a few months old, we did go see an ENT doctor, and he said he didn't recommend tongue reduction just because she was breathing fine, and so that's why we just didn't push for it. And then even when she got older and was starting to eat kind of more solid foods, she did the therapy and she was doing fine, so we still didn't push for it. So I don't know if she's just older now where it's not something that we should do now. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's hard. You don't know what to do. I just I just constantly watch I'll watch to see how it's growing. I kind of vlog it and then like bring it to the equipment and them. Because I do like all of his bottom teeth are growing very forward because the tongue's pushed forward.
Yeah.
But every tongue is different, so it might be really different for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I know this
But
definitely.
you could just like add or whatever.
Mm-hmm. This is definitely something that like I feel like I'm still learning, and it's nice being a part of groups like Beckwith Wiedemann group and things like this, so you can hear what other people do and their opinions on why they get
Definitely. Someone just commented, Avery has turned 4, and we have ultrasound at 6, but she still does blood draws at 3. So it depends on your because that's very different from where I'm at.
What she said that they're still getting blood work even after 4.
So she said, and ultrasound 6 months instead of it. It's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, so I guess it's just like whatever. So whatever you notice, I would just bring it up to your doctor and just say, okay, what about
you noticed it, if they noticed anything.
Hmm. Yeah, I know. My doctor is really nice and really nice with her, so I do feel comfortable talking to stuff about her, about my concerns, because I feel like she understands, like, she's really nice with me. So I feel like she has my patience with me, because I ask her a lot of questions and sometimes I get frustrated, but she's good. So I definitely will ask her. But another thing with Mariah is she is very, I don't know if this is like a Beckwith Wheaton thing, but she's very like not shy. She's really outgoing. And I don't know if, like, she's really strong and like active. I don't know if that's just how all of the kids are, and they always want to eat. She's always hungry.
Yeah.
So she gets a little chunky. She's not super big, but I mean, she's big. So like,
My son's the same way. He'll go up to any stranger and right up to them. Like, oh man, he doesn't change at all.
yeah.
And then like he screams as if we never feed him. But we feed him all the time.
I know. Same with her. She's always telling me she's hungry. She always wants food, and
Yeah.
she's not like, because I know that there's a lot of Beckwith Wheaton kids that are big. You know, like for her, like she's really tall. She weighs like 42 pounds. So and she's 3.5. So she's a little over 3.5. But she's good. And she's potty trained, so that we just got her potty trained about 6 months ago, and that's been really nice.
Yeah.
Especially
because she looks like it. So I know
the general
public who know nothing about the kid. Like that kid's like 6 when really.
Yeah, they're like, why is she still wearing a diaper when she looks like she's 5?
Exactly.
But yeah, she is a lot like I have some nieces and nephews that are around her age that's like 2 weeks older than her. He's like 2 weeks older than her, and he's so much smaller than her. And I'm like, I feel so bad like when she stands next to him, because she's so much bigger.
I know. Me and my husband joke. I'm like, I carry around does sports because no one's going to believe us.
Yeah, I know. I have had people say things to me, especially like, so she has like this like birthmark on her eyebrow, and like people would ask me like, oh, what's that? What's wrong? You know, and I know a lot of Beckwith Wheaton kids, they do have like that. I guess they call it a stork bite. Is that what it is? But hers looks like a birthmark. Like it's like black, like right here, like a mole. It looks like a huge mole. And I'm guessing it's from Beckwith Wheaton syndrome. I don't know. But people ask us, they're like, oh, what happened here? You know, and I'm always like, I explain, or they'll tell me like, oh, it's she looks a little swollen on this side. I've been to like Costco, and they tell me like, oh, she looks swollen there. And I'm like, oh, she was actually born with a growth disorder, you know. But then I don't want to explain it every time and make somebody feel bad for saying something when I know they didn't need it anyway, you know. But
right. Was it hard for you to kind of tell people what she was diagnosed with?
No, it wasn't hard for me, because I have a really big family who's like really supportive and there for me. So a lot of my family really helped me through it. So I didn't really feel like nervous to tell anybody. It did take me a while to like post it on social media. I think like I posted it like a few weeks after she was born to let my family know about it, like that didn't visit me or visit her or whatever in the hospital. But yeah, it's I know if people don't really understand it or really understand what it is, but I do like every year on the awareness day on, I think it's April 6th, I do post it on my Facebook page.
That's awesome.
Just to remind everybody about like what it is, you know. My remind my family, my friends and stuff that follow me. But I'm not really 100% sure about Beckwith Wheaton syndrome either. I know just like the little things that I feel like that I do with her every day, but I definitely learn a lot by watching videos like this and being on the group. and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Great. We can
a challenge in the beginning.
Yeah, it's even interesting just since I started this, like, the people's views on what they want to share about their children or not, and I understand that for sure. Um, it just makes it kind of sad because I'm like, oh man, I want to share all these conditions, the health that I've received and support. I just can't imagine I have what.
Oh, I know.
So it's,
yeah,
I'm sure it's nice to have, you know.
Yeah, the first year I would say was definitely the hardest. Just kind of getting into the routine of things, of even knowing what to do about like the ultrasound blood work, like all of that was just a lot of getting used to, and then not knowing if she's going to be able to do certain things, like because my main concern was like, is she going to be able to crawl, like walk or talk? Like those were things I'm like, I don't even know if she's going to be able to do this stuff. Like it just made me so unsure, and I felt like I couldn't do anything to help her. That was really the hardest thing. But honestly, now it's like the second year, the third year, it's been getting great. I love everyone. She's like my best friend. She's so fun. She has a big personality. Uh, but yeah, it definitely gets easier for sure. But obviously,
it's really awesome to hear it as well, because so many people have said, like, when the doctors have found out that born babies have BWS, the statistics that they give them is so sad to me. Like, a lot of statistics I've read, like, they're going to have 20% survival rate, or only the 60% chance to be a child, and it's crazy because so many of them through our groups and stuff that are thriving, really taking the world on with full force.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's just crazy to me that that's the information that they give back to moms and dads. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, I think that us as parents obviously know what's best for our children too. So I feel like we can do a lot to like help them get where they are. I I honestly, I felt like I said, like the therapy that she was in, I really just pushed for it, and like really wanted her to be in that, because I felt like this is something that I know that can help her. And I think because I was constantly taking her to her therapy and putting her in that, that's what helped her a lot, instead of just kind of letting her do it on her. Like, I felt like she needed that help and from a therapist, because it's not something that I was able to do, because I obviously I didn't know how to do that. But yeah, I really, really am thankful for the therapy that was available to her. And honestly, I had no idea about all that stuff until there was like a caseworker or something at the hospital who ended up telling me all this information, because I honestly had no idea. So like the hospital's the one who did it all for me. They gave me the number to call, and then they sent nurses to my house to like evaluate her, and then they sent the evaluation report to like this center that we have here, and then that's how we got connected with therapy. And I honestly would have had no idea about it if it wasn't for them. So the hospital was great with helping me with that too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and
that's good. That sounds like a lot of support from pretty much beginning.
Yeah, I did, definitely. And the NICU nurses were amazing. They were so nice. They treated her really nice. And like, it's so funny. They would tell me, they're like, she's so big, because NICU babies are really tiny, but they have a 9, almost 10-pounder in there. So it's just different for them. But,
they were probably looking up on.
Yep. She was like 9 pounds, 13 inches, and they were like, this baby's huge compared to the other ones. But yeah.
Yeah, because the other one too.
Yeah. But yeah. And she wasn't late either. Mariah was like, I think I was like 5 days early. So it wasn't like she was like a late baby. She was big. Just big.
That's so funny.
That's so funny. I was
until my due date. I took Owen by C-section. He had like he didn't want to come out. Well, and then he had to go to the NICU at 12 pounds. Like what the world?
You said you had to have a C-section too?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I just had a C-section. He was 12.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah. Sorry, it cut out a bit. I couldn't.
Yeah, he had no.
Yeah, he had no. He
Wow. That's crazy.
Well, I just want to thank you for sharing your story. I know sometimes going live can be weird, but I think it's cool because there's a lot of other people that want to go live, haven't tried it yet, that they can just, your story is just.
Yeah, I know. I was so nervous to go live. I'm like, I don't do this. I'm not a good person to go live. I love it though.
Oh, you did good.
Thank you. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. And if you ever want to come to Philly to any of the conferences or anything like that, let us know. You know, stuff along the way, in case you get something that you want to share. You certainly can do one of these. Not let one it done.
Yeah, sounds good. I will.
All right. Well, have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
Bye. You're welcome.
All right, so that was Brittany from California. I think some of the audio was a little funked up. Heyo, come here. Thank you all for watching. She was awesome. She shared about her little girl and her story. And any of you that watched, if you think that you want to sign up, excuse me, and do one, we have our link pinned at the top. So we're planning on doing 2 next week, one on Facebook and one on Instagram. So stay tuned for all of that. And I am just recovering from surgery, so hopefully I'll still be able to do some things in the next couple days as I recover. But thank you all for joining, and have a great night. I wouldn't say bye. He's going to bed.